Okay, so here's the line for the buses to go into Chimney Rock. Well, the tickets are gone, but there will be buses still running, first come, first served. They said the wait is around 20 minutes. I think it's more now, like 30 minutes. We'll see. There. So I'm talking with some folks in line while we're waiting. We have quite a bit of a wait. So we're talking, they're from South Carolina. Say hello. Hey. So they also got impacted by the hurricane as well. They said power lines were down. You were without electricity
snapped in half, flooding, without power for almost a week. They had no school for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They were out of school for a while because of the power was out. We was having to use generators. We had to find gas stations that were using generators to get power and everything else, and it was crazy.
Wow, that's intense. Yeah, so we're waiting in line to get on a bus to go to Chimney Rock, and you're talking about you've been coming here since you were a little kid.
Yep.
What was your story?
On Facebook memories, my mom has shared it, and it's my brother and my dad on the rock, and he was just a little tiny thing. He's about maybe 5 or 6, and now he's about to be 17. So.
Wow, that's what's so special, y'all, listening, because you just don't know how special this place is to those of us who've known about it, who've been here for a long, long time. It's such an unusual rock. You can easily find it online. It looks so strange. I came here when I was a kid, and I've also been here many times hiking up in the trails and at Chimney Rock, and it's a nice vibe, you know. It's just good people.
Last time I came, I did the boat tour.
Very, very interesting. Cool. And what's your name?
Gabby.
Gabby, what's your name?
Landon.
Thank y'all so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay, folks, we made it on the bus. This may be the last one they're letting in. We're going to see. So we're getting ready to go up into Chimney Rock. Check it out.
Everybody chilly? My name's April. I'm a local. I live in Chimney Rock, and I actually live there right now even, because I was evacuated and I'm now living in my son's basement, which used to be my house. So I was the upstairs maid, now I'm the basement maid. Anyway. But it's good because I have 2 new little kittens and he has 2 big hungry dogs, so we kind of stay away from each other. Anyway, this is my home. And I do want to thank you all for coming out and supporting us, because this was quite an amazing event that Spokes of Hope and CityServe put together. And I even got to see so many people that we haven't seen in months because no one's living in Chimney Rock anymore. The village does not have a sewer system anymore. The pipes broke and got washed down probably in the middle of the lake, as well as our water pipes washed down in the middle of the lake, as well as a bunch of houses and a bunch of vehicles. One of the gentlemen that works for my son, he saved my son's brand new pickup truck. My son was out of town. And he drove the pickup truck up to the fire department, and his own pickup truck washed down the river. So someone donated a pickup truck to the village, and he got it, so it worked out fine. Anyway, I live across the river. And Thursday night, firemen that I knew, Ronnie, came up to me. He said, April, you might want to evacuate because we've been having a lot of rain, and the river might get high. And it was very nonchalant, no big deal. So I said, okay. And I knew I was going to go to my son's house, which used to be my own house. And he wasn't home anyway. He was out of the country. So I said, fine. At least I'll have hot running water. I can take a shower. Because we lose power in Chimney Rock like that. We lose power. Where trees knock down a power line. It's very easy. So I clothes on my back. I even left my cat. And I figured I'll be home the next day. Well, the next day turned into 3 and 4 days. And I sat in his window of his, and I'll show you the house I'm talking about as we pass. And I watched the river get wider and wider. And next thing you know, it took out a line of trees. It took out a line of parking. And it took out the road. And the whole road and river together was one big river. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I watched the rooftops of houses floating down the river fast, very, very fast. I watched cars floating down the river. There's a lot of debris in this lake now, and they're going to drain it. I don't know when, but soon, because The big iron bridge that used to take people over to my neighborhood is in the middle of the lake. Cars, houses, dumpsters, propane tanks, you name it, they're in that lake. So this is starting to get a little depressing, but believe me, this is good. Fay Nectar is coming up on the right. It's a medieval place that makes their own mead, and the owner's name is Tom, nice guy. Used to have Renaissance festivals. And I said, you might want to change from medieval to like Margaritaville, because now you have waterfront property. This is Fay Nectar right here. He does a nice job. So we're going to cross the bridge, and this is the fairly new bridge. The original bridge going from Lake Lorne to Chimney Rock will be on the right. It is now called, was called the Flowering Bridge. And it was beautiful and planted with all kinds of trees and flowers. Here's the start of it. Well, it doesn't look too good, but you can see what happened to the bridge. And now the structure is not safe. I don't know what they're going to do with it. But when I first came out here, this whole bridge, you had 20 feet of buildings and vehicles and you name it was on this. You couldn't pass it. You could walk across it if you want to climb over the rubble. That's what you'd have to do. And where I was staying, I had no cell phone service. I had no internet. So my kids were trying to get a hold of me. They think that maybe I floated down the river. And they couldn't, and they were frantic. So, Riverside Event Center, beautiful wedding venue, is now going to be rubble. So, the river was, you can see how wide the river had gotten at one point. The back of this motel was the Tiki Bar, and it was famous. And all the locals used to hang out at the Tiki Bar. And they had a swimming pool. Well, the Tiki Bar and the pool are now in Lake Lore. Nothing's left. So we went up to the firehouse. No one had any way to eat or get food, or because we had no refrigeration. And we all took turns cooking breakfast for everybody and lunch for the firefighters and the first responders. And then I'll tell you a little story about the smokehouse in a minute. Across the river, that's the development called Southside. That's where I live. And you can see how big, again, the river got. And there was a street over there, a paved street. You can see the bits of it. The road is all gone. So they made this bridge right here. This is a very temporary bridge made by DOT to at least people can get to their homes. I got power to my house just yesterday because my house was not on the river. There were 22 houses on the river, 10 survived. The others they're in the middle of the lake. You can see a burial or a memorial to one woman that decided to go down in her house. She was an invalid and she was older, and the fire department said, "Come on, Lisa, let's go. You gotta go. We'll carry you out." No, and no, I am not leaving my house. Well, she went down the river. Her whole house came off the foundation and floated down the river, her whole entire house. And she was in it. But this was her choice. She must have had a hell of a ride. There were two buildings right here, the Christmas Cottage and Bonnie's Place, and that's my store right there, and the fudge store next to it. The fudge store was annihilated on the inside. Now Bubba's right here, they had another building that was their original building. The whole roof line came down 45 degrees, and somehow a car got underneath it or got smashed. This is the bridge that goes over to the park. And even if the bridge didn't get washed away, there's no road over there anymore for you to go up to. So that's going to take quite a while for that park to get open. And this is Chimney Rock Smokehouse on your right. And that is the person, which happens to be my oldest son, that is cooking your brisket sandwich that you had at the event. Wasn't that good?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. This is where we had the Chinook helicopters land in the beginning to evacuate people, because we had people staying at the firehouse. One man broke his leg. He was on a cot. So we just kept ushering him out, 12 people at a time, to take the Chinooks out wherever they went. So the smokehouse right there had no power, but it had a gas stove. Now my son was out of town, but I knew he would think like I do. So I got one of his workers that were still here, and we opened up the smokehouse, and we started grilling things. But as it got dark, some lady came up with a car, and she said, "I'll shine my car headlights into the side door." And that's what she did, so that they could see in the kitchen, so that we could cook for all the first responders. It was about 60 meals cooked those first 2 nights. And then the firehouse started making dishes, and then Spokes of Hope started cooking. So we've had a tremendous amount of help, and the Spokes of Hope are just fabulous. So the lake is a muddy brown right now, and they're going to drain it, and they're going to get everything out of the center of the lake. The lake used to be at its deepest 90 feet, now at its deepest 25 feet, because of all the junk inside it, including houses and cars and you name it in that lake. The river is another issue. There were 6 buildings down at the other end of town. The brewery, Highlands Restaurant, Michael's, the ice cream shop. All the buildings went away. All the buildings washed down the road. And there was this 20-foot wave that came and crashed everything. This is where the bridge used to be, over the south side, right by where that big tree is. And the big iron bridge that's been here forever. And that's how I would get home at night. There's my house back there. No, it's white. Anyway, but nobody can live here. We have no power or water or sewer. So there's an 11-member task force for Chimney Rock. I'm happy to be one of the people on it that is going to determine what Chimney Rock is going to look like going forward. And we still want to keep that old-timey feeling. As a matter of fact, a few months ago, a woman came in the store, and she was just looking around, and I'm saying, "Can I help you?" "No." She told me the story that her husband and her had gotten married at Chimney Rock, and every anniversary they would come back to celebrate. Well, her husband passed away, and she still came back to Chimney Rock. That's how special this place is to a lot of people. So we will rebuild. It might not be the same. It's not going to be the same. As a matter of fact, the village is collecting money, right, from donations. We're trying to figure out how to, the people that lost their businesses, totally lost them. Not only their business, but the land that the business was on. We're trying to figure out, okay, how can we help these businesses come back, maybe on the other side of the road, maybe down, somewhere behind the parking lot. We're trying to figure out so that we get all our businesses back in action. I showed you I have 2 stores down below. April's Boutique is set a little back from behind River Watch. Now River Watch got a big pile of water in the building, and what is amazing, it didn't come, I'm not in a flood zone, so I didn't have flood insurance, but very few people did. It wasn't the river that did us in, it was the water coming down Main Street, the 20-foot wall of water carrying huge trees. It knocked into my son's side door of Under the Rock, which is the store next to mine, smashed his door off the hinges, and just came in the store, and it was such force, it knocked his whole entire fudge case, big huge showcase full of fudge, knocked it over, knocked the jewelry cases over. Every single display was on its face in the mud. it was such force. You cannot believe the force that water has. And anything that was hanging above, all the bottoms. As a matter of fact, I have a rack behind my store of all the clothes still that have that much mud on it. And little by little, we take it home and we beat the mud out of it. But it's depressing. It really is, because this is our livelihood. And October was the busiest month of the whole year. And so going forward, we're trying to figure out, okay, well, how are we going to pay our bills? I told my sons I was going to hang the red lanterns out, but they asked me what I was going to do with a quarter. I love my kids.
Look for the change, right?
Anyway, the Spokes of Hope did this event, and I really didn't think it was going to be this fantastic. No one had a clue. But to see old friends, I was just talking to two people that I haven't seen in forever, it seems. And to see all the people that genuinely care, and I know a lot of it is curiosity too. I get that. I would be too. I really truly think that a lot of people care about Chimney Rock, care about this area, and I am blessed to be a part of this area. I'm not going anywhere. This is my home forever and ever. Anyway, thank you all for coming. I don't know where you all come from. Where are you from? Okay, so you're fairly local. And sir? Charlotte. Oh, that's right. But I appreciate each and every one of you for coming and supporting us. There were QR codes all around the area. And if you have $5 or $10 to donate, that'd be awesome, because it all adds up. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. April, were all those docks that are empty, were they once full of boats?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they're all gone.
Well,
They emptied them
some
out.
may also be taken for winter storage.
Okay.
A lot of the boats get bundled up and stored away for the winter,
Okay.
most likely. And because they're also going to be draining the lake, the boats can't be in the lake, because otherwise they'll be on the floor. They have to clean this lake up, because you can't swim in it until they get it all clean.
When do they plan to drain it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not sure.
You think they'll have it ready for next summer?
Oh, yeah.
So they better start draining it soon. They got a lot of trash to clean out.
They got a lot of trash, and they got a lot of. They got to make it blue again, and they will. They will.
Lots of trucks coming in, truck after truck. I guess hauling debris. I hope. But there's a lot more to haul. So this is the beach where all the sand was, and it's mostly mud now at Lake Lure. Gosh, I hardly remember what it looked like at this point. But it was a lot prettier than this.
So it looks like everything is wrapping up at the festival today.
There's a beautiful fountain that survived. It's a nice way to complete my video today of Lake Lure and Chimney Rock. Thanks for watching.
Check out my next video where I gained admittance into Chimney Rock Village on December 16th, just 2 days after the festival. Walk with me as I explore the hurricane's destruction and current reconstruction efforts. Hear about a business owner's cleanup and remodeling after the flood. Plus, join me in a prayer visualization for healing of the region, humanity, and the world.